people, when they make content, they lose their authenticity because there's a couple of things they don't do. Number one is look at the lens. This has become content creation. I'm like, it's not the same. It's lost something. Don't run from the fact that you used to make children's television. Run towards it. You just got to be careful, like particularly the paid content. People will smell it and react to it and go, what's that about? You don't have to know everything. You think, oh my God, as opposed to, it's okay to talk to a camera. Look, long answers. Jason really cracking in with some long answers today, and I want to shout out to the editors because they're like, where do we start? Wow.
Today might be the first time that I've ever got nervous on an interview. I met Mr. Jason Gunn. For those of you who are millennials like me, you grew up with him every afternoon and Saturday mornings on What Now and Son of a Gun Show. And today I got to break down some of his career and how he got to where he was, but more importantly, his advice on telling great stories. Tune in. I'm obviously like of the generation that grew up with you.
Bless.
I'm 38.
Yeah.
So
that works out.
there's
Yes.
not a lot of people I interview where like I've known you my whole life. But this is like probably the first time I've gone. I mean, we're almost into the podcast. I'm not going to do the intro. It's going to happen later. It's started.
It's just started.
Is that it's probably the first time I've had any nerves.
Oh, stop it.
But I'll get over them real shortly.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll find a thing.
You'll be very disappointed and you'll go, wow.
I don't think so. I think actually like it's going to be quite an interesting conversation. The first thing I wanted to say though is how much do you know about Harry Potter?
How much do I know about Harry Potter?
Have you read the books? Or watched the movies?
Some of the books,
Okay.
all of the movies several times
Okay.
because my children were of that age.
Of course.
So it's like, I mean,
of course you know it all.
I know it all, and I've waited in line for books and movies, but it was just such a way that our family would gather, like, oh my God, the new movie's out. So we'd go and we'd watch the movie, and then we'd, oh my God, it's out on DVD, we can watch it at home now. So absolutely.
Okay,
yeah,
perfect. Well, there's a bit in the books in the last, in Deathly Hallows,
Yeah.
where Harry gets a copy of The Life and Lies of Dumbledore.
Yes.
And I feel like as I was preparing for this interview, that I was Harry reading this book going, I knew nothing about Jason Gunn. I thought I knew him growing up. I knew everything because I saw him every day.
Whole other side.
And then I was like, no, this guy's actually lived a massive life and done a lot of things. And I was going into this interview like, oh, no, this is good. I know Jason Gunn. I'm going to talk about him, about all the cool things he's done. And I realized I know about 10% of what you've done because I only know you what I watched.
Of course, yeah. But there's what you see, and then there's what goes on to make that happen, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I'm really interested about that.
As am I.
And I want to start with the fact that we also looked at, like, so Amy over there is 21.
Yes.
And you would have been a little younger than her, around her age, when this all kicked off.
Yeah, 18 I was.
18, yeah. So a few years younger than her. And, like, not that age necessarily has a lot to play, but, like, that's... Like, how was that? Being that age, kind of being in charge of this show, essentially, or once you did get in charge of these shows?
Well, it was a bit different when I think about it, because when I was 18, I said to someone the other day about this, how content creation, interesting term, how that's all changed.
Yep.
I remember the day I first made television, I'm 18, and I look up in a room of people, and it's like, oh God, there's like 15 people here. What do you all do? Yeah. And I guess none of you can do this until I start talking. Oh, God. Like, there's a lot of pressure on. But I remember looking up and they said, okay, we're going to roll record now. Yeah. Floor managers, stage managers. There's all the people, camera operators, sound operators. Through there's a control room with directors and vision mix, all sorts of people, right? Let alone the graphics and the producers and the people behind the scene, the researchers. But in this room, there's like 12, 15 people. Yeah. And I'm like, gee, I don't want to let you down. We roll record, and I look up, and before I start, and I just look up, and there's a room of people, and they're all smiling, and they're all giving off this vibe that's like, hey, this is going to be, you've got this, dude. You've got this. I remember thinking, wow. And I realized the greatest thing for content creation, as I knew it, was it is a team effort. Yeah. We can only do this if we do it together. Yeah. Now... well, I'll just pull out the camera, and I'll just put on the phone, and I'll just get the camera... And now this has become content creation. I'm like, it's not the same.
It's not the same.
It's lost something. And I know we can do, people go, but I can just do it on my phone. You go, yeah, you kind of can, but I feel lucky because I've got to do both. Yeah. And I was in television when it was pretty mighty and it was pretty big and there were big groups of people. Yeah. who were just masters of their art.
Yeah.
And I learnt from them,
Yeah.
right? So how lucky was I?
100%.
I went to the ultimate university of content creation. It was called television. I was surrounded by these geniuses that I would just swim in this pond of wowness.
Yeah.
And it's not the same as just picking up your phone and going.
No.
Sorry, but it's just not. No. So I miss that.
Yeah.
I miss the teamwork that was involved. Yeah. I miss knowing that we can only do this if we do it together. Yeah. I still love making videos. Yeah. But it's just not quite the same. Yeah. So I never felt alone.
Okay.
That's the thing. When I was 18, I always felt everyone around me was slightly older than me. Yeah. But I felt like a part of something really special. So I felt very safe.
Got it.
And I think if we feel safe, we can do great things, right?
Things. Yeah, it's interesting. How did that come about anyway? Like, how do you fall into a role like that at 18? Like, that's...
Well, I wrote a lot of letters to them to going, is there a job in television? And they would write back saying, no, there actually is not. And then I would go back and forth. And finally, there was an ad in the paper that said, would you like to be a television presenter? I'm like, guys, I've been writing, like, I think you know the answer. So they were like, oh God, not him again. But I got to audition, and I remember going for this weekend where there was a Saturday and Sunday 2-day audition, and there was a lot of taller, better-looking people than me. So I thought, I'm just making up numbers here. But at the end of it, they said, hey, we just think you've been amazing on camera. I was like, really? And they said, yeah, just. And I remember one of the guys saying, yeah, it's just you're very natural, and we love the way you're not condescending. And also, you just talk to like one person. And I thought, well, I've always thought that's how you do it, right? Yeah. Like, let's not be arrogant enough to go, hi, everyone, because you're all watching me. Let's just have a conversation. That's what I tried to do. And they liked that side of it.
Got it.
So then I got offered a contract, and they said, it's just till the end of the year. And then that never sort of stopped.
No, it
just sort of kept going. And then, So
that advice, I remember watching a video of yours on LinkedIn, giving that same advice, talking to one person. So that's just carried through your whole career, I suppose.
It's just a conversation, right? That's all it is. Yeah. People say to me, I've got to do a presentation, or I've got to make a video. I always just go, you mean you have to have a chat with someone? Yeah. That's really all you have to do. It's like, and as soon as you forget that that's what we're doing here, this is easy because I can see you. Yeah. I can't see you, but I'm saying hi. It's like, and I'm assuming that you're watching this. Hopefully you're still with us. And it's that idea. Like, it's not different. It's just,
it's just been recorded.
Totally. And we've got to stop thinking about talking to a piece of glass if it's a camera, and start thinking, who is the one person that might be watching this? Yeah. And we want them to feel like, I'm only talking to them. I'm only talking to you. So
over the years, have you, like, that's a real common thing we face as a company when we're trying to, we have a lot of B2B clients who are trying to be thought leaders or whatever they might want to be trying to achieve. And they really struggle with that switch. It's always something we're trying to tell them to do.
Yes.
How do you got to stop overcooking this. Like, you just need to talk to me like you're my friend, and you're trying to explain what it is.
Yeah.
From your point of view, what are some of like the common mistakes people do, or like tricks that they can do to overcome that hurdle? Because it's like not an easy thing to do. I always fall victim to it myself.
Oh yeah.
Like, what are some, I guess, thoughts for myself to go, just think this way, or do this thing?
Yeah, I find people, that's a good word, they overcook it. Like they suddenly think they need to become an expert in something. Yeah. So they go, and they'll try and bring too much information to the table. And I go, I can't remember it all. I go, well, I'd suggest you've got too much then. It's like, and also people when they make content or whatever, they lose their authenticity because there's a couple of things they don't do, right? Number one is, I always say, my top 2 tips for talking to a camera: look at the lens. Equally, look away from the lens, like I just did then, and then look back. Because in life, we don't just look at someone. I think it's between 3 and 7 seconds we feel a natural, this looks, I need to look away. This just feels a little
too intimate.
Psycho killer. Exactly, like, wow. Yeah. But we don't. We're so locked on talking to the camera, we never look away. So we don't break the gaze. Yeah. And in life, we do. So you've got to get more authentic with the looking at camera and then looking away and looking back. But equally, you don't have to know everything. I don't know how many times I've said and or stopped and started chatting with you now. Yeah. But at no stage did I go, hey, dude, I'm going to go back and walk in and let's take it from the top, shall we? But on video, we do it 17 takes. You think, oh, my God, as opposed to it's okay to talk to a camera or anywhere, talk on stage and forget your words and go, now listen, you're going to laugh. I have forgotten. No, I remember now. But people don't do that on camera. They chop those bits out.
Yeah.
And it's all good to chop it all up. But you lose you in the chopping it.
Yeah.
And sometimes if you just give yourself permission to be like, forgot what I was going to say, actually, so I guess we'll make another video about that. That screams authenticity to me.
Very human.
You forget someone's name. You go, don't worry, we'll just chop that out in the edit. Why? We all forget people's names. So we're taking out the us in it. Because we're trying to cut it up to make it quick because we've got to get it out in 15 seconds. And there's a place for that. I get it. Yeah. But where you really want to scream authenticity, sometimes you've got to leave those bits in.
Yeah, interesting.
So I think there's different forms of video. I understand sometimes you've got to cut it up quick, but other times you've got to let it breathe.
Yep.
And I think if you just focus on letting it breathe, the editor can cut it up if they need to. But you won't look like someone who tried to remember too much information and tried to come across as an expert, which you should never do either. That's the...
No.
Don't ever try and be an expert. I always say, and it's an overused term, but you can come across as a guide, like, I got some idea of what I'm talking about and I can help you out. But I wouldn't say, Jason Gunn, the expert when it comes to communicating and public speaking. It's like, no, but I've talked on camera for 30-odd years, so I've learnt some stuff. So some of it worked for me. I know a lot of it will work for you.
Yeah.
Let me run you through some of it.
Yeah, I like it.
It's there, right? It's where you otherwise it can get a bit arsey.
Exactly. Yeah. I try to explain to clients as the reporter, the expert, and the fool. And like the reporter is kind of like, I learned something and I'm going to tell you about this thing I learned. And it's not me, the expert. I was talking to Jason. He told me this thing. How cool is it?
Right.
And that's like quite a good way to start. But then naturally people go, well, now I'm the expert, so I'm going to tell you how good I am. Yeah. And usually the content starts to flop at that point of view because it's kind of boring. But then they eventually become the fool where they realize the more they know, the less they know. And then they start to explain just how you're talking about, how it's a little bit of going, look, here's some things that I've done in the past. It might work for you. I'll share it. Or here's where I made a mistake doing something and the lesson I took away from it. As opposed to going, you must do this. This is the only way.
I think so. Well, it's just that vulnerability, isn't it? Yeah. And like, there are times when, you know what? There's a phrase which I think people skip over, or it's a question you might say that gets asked. Sometimes if you really want to know something, say you wanted something done to your car or you want to buy a television, I don't know. The one question I'm going to ask after I've got all the information, the hard sell, I'll say to them, hey, dude, so, I don't know, like, what would you do? Like what would, if you were me, like, what would you do? And you'll see them break and go, oh, actually, mate, do you know what? I go, here we go. Yeah. Welcome to the room. Where have you been? All that shit you were selling me, and now I've cut right to the chase, haven't I? What would you do? Oh, mate, to be honest, I'd probably keep the one you've got. Yeah. But seriously, in the next 12 months, I'd look at, thanks, dude, I'll see you in 12. And you can't buy that sort of, that's like the best sell without the sell, right? And I just think sometimes, there's something in that. Yeah. There's something in that. I just think it's being vulnerable. When you don't know, say, I actually don't know. I think there's nothing better than someone sharing with others that they've reached their limit of knowledge and going, I'm out. Yeah. I'm out. And I think that's okay. But people have this fear that, what if they ask me something I don't know the answer? Yeah. You say, no, I don't even know the answer to that. What happens? I should know the answer. You go, I guess I should know the answer. Yeah. Politicians are the worst. Oh, absolutely. Well, don't you think you should know the answer to that, Minister? Actually, yes, I should probably. Best I go away and do some reading tonight. Who wouldn't love that guy? Know. Yeah. But no, we'll just keep talking because hopefully the answer's going to fall out pretty soon. Yeah. P.S. I've been talking for 2 minutes and no answer yet. So I think it's okay not to know. Yeah. And in those moments of vulnerability and authenticity, we go, I like that person. Yeah. We see a bit of us in them. Yeah. And I guess that's such a big goal for people who are creating content. You're not actually trying to sell a service in the content. You're just trying to sell trust and likability, right? Absolutely right. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Tell me, the first point you made about when you're 18 and you're starting out is that it takes a team to produce that. Oh, yeah. And then you talked about that, well, I can pull out my phone and I don't need a team, people are saying, and that actually you lose something in that. Well, what is that? What are you losing
by not having a team around you think, when in this modern day of content creation?
Well, we can all learn. Like I've learned over the last few years. I really enjoy editing because for me it's quite a mindfulness exercise. I can sit there and go, and I can go, and I've sat in editing suites for many, many years. So I've learnt from people to go, that is funnier when we cut there and do that. And when we bring the song up there, that's beautiful when we bring, that's, and you just learn things.
Yeah.
And then you just got to look at it back and go, but then be open to someone going, I completely disagree, right? But I do miss those conversations. Like I miss someone going, who just does sound, going, dude, you know what, you can do this. And you go, oh my God, that's amazing. Yeah. Or someone capturing that shot and you go, that's clever. And they pulled focus then. And just at that point, I turned and they did that. And you think, that's why it looks so good. Yeah. Like there's a reason some of the best movies that we fall in love with have never ever yet been shot by one person on a phone. It's like they may have been shot on a phone, but not just by one person, you know, because it's someone like John Williams or James Horner or, you know, Alan Silvestri has created the soundtrack and you go, what? The soundtrack is a story in itself, right? That you just listen to the music, right? And then there's the visuals and then there's the audio and there's, but together, we all put this together and go, wow. So I think there is, I'm not saying we can't do it on our own, but it steps up when we involve other people. Yeah. And just even those moments like we're having now, right? You just have these conversations and we learn from each other and we I think when you surround yourself with good people, good things happen.
Yeah, I like that. How do you think then, you know, like in your world, I've been following you for a while on LinkedIn, and watching the way that you're creating the brand around the speaking, coaching and stuff recently. Yeah. How much of that is just you? Like, do you have people helping you now with your personal brand?
So to start with, I did. A really good friend of mine, Amanda, was amazing. She came in and said, hey, so you got the Jason Gunn factor. Yeah. And then people are going to go, oh, where's Thingy? Good question. We can deal with that in a second. But over here, I'd like you to take me seriously because I'm trying to help you communicate with confidence. So one of the things that we turned around for me was the fact that don't run from the fact that you used to make children's television. Run towards it. Yeah. Like and that's where I learned everything I need to know. Okay. That's where I learned how to connect with people. Connection's my favourite word in the world. Yeah. So that's where I learned how to really connect with one person. Because when I made children's television, I would talk to one kid at home and just go, hey you, how are you doing? Yeah. Oh my God, you're the best part of my day. Yeah. And my goal was to try and make that one kid feel like, damn, like this person gets me. Like this person's pleased to see me. And I'm lucky because I've met so many children who have grown up who in this little country called New Zealand will come up and say, oh, hey, Jason Gunn. It's never Jason. Hey, Jason Gunn, just want to say, and it's the most beautiful things. Like a man stopped me at the airport recently. We're just waiting for our luggage. And he just said, oh, mate, just want to say I had a bit of a shitty childhood, mate. But you just made the sun come out some days. And I was like, dude, I gave him the biggest hug and went, I love that. If you never did anything with your life, right, just like anything else, that's enough for me. Like, wow, don't let that slip, Jace. Don't let that sit. Let that affect you for a minute, Jace, and go, what an awesome thing to hear from a human. I think we all do that. Yep. I just happen to be in the position where people feel they know me and will come up and talk to me, right? And I guess that's also a sign of success. Try that again. Yep. But we're not stopping. We're not stopping. Because we don't need to stop because it's authentic to make mistakes and keep going. It's a sign of success that people want to come up with me and have this conversation like they know me, because that to me says, great. Yeah. That to me says I feel like you do feel there's a connection there, right? And I guess that's what we should all be trying to do when we're talking on stage or camera. Forget the information, forget the sale. First focus on the connection. How can I make you feel like I'm only talking to you? Yeah. That's that. We've got to get that. Yeah. And that's where you get the trust, and then and only then maybe I'll listen to what you're selling and maybe I'll buy from you. But if you try and hit me with that first, I'm already out. Yeah, I'm just smiling and nodding.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I love that story because I think there's a few of us who are millennials in the building who all knew you were coming in today,
Bless.
you know, and all who grew up with you, and all felt the same way. All felt like you spoke to us.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
No, I know it's no. Sorry, I should be saying thank you, because it's like it is one of those things where if you didn't have someone like you, those childhood TV shows like are super important for kids. I think they're massively super important. Obviously, I don't need to tell that to you.
No,
You did it for your whole
but
career.
I'm glad you think it,
Yeah.
because sadly so many networks and different people go, we're not making children's television. It's like, but someone needs to be the friend in the afternoon.
Yes.
Someone needs to be there to say, hey, I don't care if it's 1 million people watching or 10.
Yeah.
I think we've got a responsibility to make content, because not everyone has got a phone or the internet. But I think, and just turn on the television for free and go, hey, you.
Yeah.
What good could we do with that?
Yeah. I was going to ask that because there's all this talk around, before 16 with social media and all these things about how people, who they're watching on social media. But then there's also all these defunding of children's television and things in that.
Of course,
worldwide too, not just in New Zealand.
Oh, no, global.
And so what are your thoughts there? Why, how do we reverse that trend, or what's the solve for it? Is there a solve for it? Or is it too big? Is it bigger than one person can sort of manage?
I mean, it makes sense, doesn't it, that the world now is watching on so many screens, right? We're talking about a time when you grew up where you had a television in your lounge. If you were filthy rich, you had 2 televisions and a soda stream. And that you knew a family had come into money if they had 2 televisions and a soda stream. They'd probably been to Australia as well. They probably had flown on a plane. What the actual hell? But sort of we're talking about a time where we all sat around and watched television together. And you just went, okay, one screen. And when the show finished, you didn't binge another one. You went, we'll see you next week, or we'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I get it. And now we are all watching on different screens and, just different platforms. So that is what we're watching on. So you can cry me a river as much as you like. But I mean, I can't cry to the funders and their networks, but then go home and binge YouTube, because it's well, which one are you, Jason? So it has changed, and that's the reality. What I like about the responsibility of a broadcaster, especially like a TVNZ, I go, I don't personally think they can keep up with YouTube, Netflix, Hulu. How long have we got? But if they said, "Hey, New Zealand, we're gonna play some mighty New Zealand content," I think if they could reflect us more. Netflix doesn't want to reflect New Zealand. Hulu doesn't want to go, "Here's a great story from Oamaru." It's don't care. But if New Zealanders know they can always see New Zealand on TVNZ, I don't know. I think there is a bit of a responsibility there. Got to get myself in trouble, but I think there is. I think that's nice. And not every country wants to see themselves on TV. I think we do, because I think we're friggin' awesome. And no one tells our stories like us. And the last thing you want is people from overseas coming in and telling our stories. And you go, I think we could probably tell that better. Because I think as a nation, we are naturally really good storytellers, right? I think we are. It's in us. So I don't know, but I think also I just think as content creators, we just need to be aware that times have changed. And like I say, as much as I think TVNZ and other broadcasters have responsibilities, I think as content creators, I think I need to make sure I'm telling lots of stories from my home, right? That's
in different ways, because I seen that with your Whitebait Media, that's obviously a rebrand from Whitebait TV to Whitebait Media. Is that because of that thing where you're understanding that we're on different devices, we're in different places, and that you're making content for different
I guess it was a bit of that at the start. I think now Whitebait Media is still mainly making we've had the absolute pleasure, the honour of making What Now for with the last 23, 24 years now. And, that was a show that I presented for a little bit as well. So it's a huge honour. And that's changed. See, now it's it's on the television, but it's also on, it's on YouTube. So because the message was we need to grow that as well. So it's okay, we can do both. That's not impossible. And so we did, but sort of, I think that's still our main purpose and goal is as a broadcaster, but what is television now, right? So I guess Whitebait Media is it's for television, but also it's also for YouTube, or it's all of that. You got to learn to change with the times, or you will die with the times.
Yeah.
So I guess there's been a part of that.
Yeah. Okay. Is Whitebait Media like?
Definitely something that my wife runs. Let's just clarify that. Straight up. Where's the pants? I turn up.
That's it. And
pretend to know stuff. He doesn't.
I kind of read, when I was doing my little bit of research about it, I kind of thought that was another life and lies of Jason Gunn. That, because like from the outside, unless you dig in, you kind of think you're the face of it, and that you are.
Oh, of course. Just ask my wife.
Yeah, exactly, right?
And Jason Gunn, you clever businessman. You clever businessman.
Taking the
many hats on. Exactly.
Yeah. And I guess what I wanted to know is, what does that look like as a future of a business in a world where there's less funding, or like how do you see that business growing, continuing to grow?
Janine is one of the geniuses that I work with at TVNZ. She was my boss for a while there. There was a dramatic turn of events there when boss became wife, and that is another story for another day. But she is one of those people who she's the most creative person I've ever met in my life. Yeah. Like she sees it, but she's not only that, she's also got the biggest heart. Like I don't know anyone who wants to help people more. Actually, our oldest daughter, Eve, is very much like Janine like that. Those two would be the most generous-hearted people I know in terms of wanting to help people. Love you guys. And but she is like that, Janine. So very, very creative and a big heart. And so I've learned so much from her. And she's had to change as she goes. But look, there are many times I've seen her, between conversations of TVNZ and New Zealand on air, and just I don't know. She knows how to tell a good story. Tamariki are everything to her. She will never give up on that journey. That she believes that every child needs to be looked after, and in television needs to be represented. Yeah. So. So many New Zealand families and New Zealand children, you can go, Jason Gunn was there. You go, behind that, Janine Morel Gunn really was the driving force, not just on Son of a Gun Show. On What Now? There was Life in the Fridge, there was Bumble, there was, so many shows that she made happen and still does. Yeah. And she's the brains and the heart and everything, really.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's enough of a sell. If we just make it about me again. No,
back to Jason.
No. She's amazing. Yeah. Unbelievable.
And you can see that when you actually do dig in and do a bit of research, you can see that she was there the whole time, doing everything behind the scenes.
Doing
awesome.
So many things, yes.
Yeah, and I guess why I wanted to ask with that question, and maybe I need to ask Jane instead of yourself.
Janine,
yes. Sorry.
Yeah.
Instead of yourself, is that... you know why I said Jane? Because we made a joke about our other client, Jane, calling her Janine.
You're joking.
And we did it as a funny joke. And now I just got the two mixed up. And now I got to say, now I've just called Janine Jane. We did a video, one of our clients, Jane, in Australia, we did it as a joke. And Joni was calling her Janine. And
did the joke go down well? Was it good?
It was funny.
Okay,
it was funny.
Good.
She caught onto it. And now I've just made a big thing here about me making mistakes.
Doesn't matter.
But that's exactly why I did
Worst thing to be called than Jane.
Yeah, that's it. So, Janine, it might be worth asking her, but I actually was going to ask, on YouTube as a platform, the biggest channels on there, on average, are kids' channels.
Of course.
And is that something that like Whitebait Media wants to go after in terms of like a way to like tell our story to a world and monetize it in a way that can that's sustainable? Or
I don't know. I don't think know. I think Janine's dream would be, can't speak for Janine, but he's going to try. Look at, here we go. Here he goes. I think it's, I don't know. There's a lot of people out there. Where does it come from? What's people's drive? There's a lot of people making content out there. Are they doing it for money? Yeah. Does it reek of that? Yeah. Like Janine still wants to be the heart and the voice for Tamariki of Aotearoa. Like she does. And she wants people to be looked after. And she still wants that friend in the afternoon. Yeah, okay. And, I know the funders and the networks are all about how many views and clicks and likes. And you go, yeah, cool story. Interesting, we didn't really care too much about that back in the day. I understand that as a currency. Yeah. But I'm also very much about, if there's 5 kids out there who watch something that I said, or not won't be me, who watch something that we made, and because of that, 5 kids feel better off, or feel like they can do something they didn't think they could, or feel the love. It's that classic, what does success look like, isn't it? That's what success looks like. And I know Janine, like me, one of the reasons we're together is we are driven by, hey, if something does all that and makes money, great, but we ain't starting with the money at the start of it. It's like we want to make something that makes a difference. We're about creating moments. In my public speaking and my coaching at Easily Said, and in our television making, media production company, we're all about creating moments, because that's kind of what the world needs more of at the moment, and about connecting people. So I think that's our drive.
And do you think that then the creating content that makes money, do you think there's some like conflict between that and what you are wanting to do in creating things that make moments and connect people? Do you think that there can be some?
I don't think it has to be. I think you can do both really easily. In fact, I think the only time it goes a bit is when people take, I don't know, if I watch content and it's coming from you're here to make money, I can smell it a mile away, and it's like, good luck to you. And you might make some now, but life is long. Like, life is long. And if I could speak sort of about me for a bit, as in, I hate to sound arrogant, but if I think something I'm proud of is my ability to last, and he's still going. Oh my God, I thought he carked it years ago. Is the ability to change, but just, I don't think there's anything clever about what I do. I think content creators, in whatever we do, we're not nurses or doctors, we're not teachers, like we're not social workers, we're just so replaceable it's ridiculous. So let's just keep our feet on the ground, people. We're not actually needed. So once we over there, right? So I think but what good could we do with this, right? And I think possibly I've just tried to be that person who's there and tried to be true to who I am. And I think possibly some of my longevity is about that. I share stuff. Let it be my heart attack. Let it be being a granddad. My good times and my funny times, stupid times. Always laughing at my expense. Why laugh at others? There's enough stupid shit going on here of a day, and just keeping that authenticity. And if I look at the comments and all the threads and what people say, it's always that same, thanks, Chase, I needed a bit of a laugh today, mate. And it can be something just tiny, or, hey, thanks, Chase, that was a really inspiring, no problem. But I guess it's just, I've managed to stick around as long as I have, because I haven't tried to be someone I'm not.
So you've kept that.
Long answers. Jason really cracking in with some long answers today, and I want to shout out to the editors, because they're like, where do we start? Wow.
No, I like that. I think that's great. You've kept the authenticity and a pretty similar brand narrative the whole way. That money would follow if you did that well.
And I've been lucky. And I look, because I'm aware I do the odd things where you'll be an ambassador for the here, or you'll do this, or you just got to be careful, like particularly the paid content. You just got to be careful, because people will smell it and react to it and go, "What's that about?" And you can't lose yourself in it. So I would suggest a client might come to you and go, "Hey, could you do this and that and that and that?" You go, "Yeah, go, but we don't want you to do this." And I'm like, "Well, that's what I do." And you might go, "Well, yeah, but we don't want you to do that." And you go, "Well, we can't afford to." And I go, "Actually, I think you can, because you've got to play the long game." And they might come and say, "Here's 3, 4, 5, 10, 50, 100K to do something." You go, "Yeah, but you know what? It's like, if you're willing to give up that for this, that is something I've held on for 35 years. So I always have this children's television voice in my head, which is like, don't be an ass. Could that be perceived to be a bit arsey? Could that be mean? Hang on a minute. I have these, if in doubt, leave it out. I just have these little, and if something just doesn't sit right with me, I will go, I have to push back on that. Sorry, I would not do that. And it can seem like you just missed out on. It's like, no, I didn't.
You saved all the future opportunities.
You did, right? You're so true. And also at the end of the day, it's that, again, what does success look like? I always go, a wise man once said to me, at the end of the day, you need 6 people to carry out of the church, don't you? That's all you need, 6 people. I mean, it's not many likes. It's not many. I just need 6 followers at the end for me who like my content enough that they will carry me out of in a church in a box. That's all I need.
Yeah.
Sounds so depressing.
That is.
But at the end of the day, that's kind of
True.
it, right?
Yeah.
And you want people to gather and talk about you, and I don't know, maybe say you made a difference. No one's ever going to go, and what about the car and the boat?
Yeah.
How good? No one talks about that at the funerals. The savouries, sure.
Yes.
But no one talks about that.
Nah.
So a part of me, I don't know. I'm also very lucky. I grew up with a mum and a dad who were very, I was so loved.
Okay.
Right? And I have an appreciation not everybody is. So I want everyone to feel a bit of that. And, I lost my mum just a couple of years ago. Yeah. And that was just my world just fell apart. Just like, but she's like my greatest fan. Like, I don't understand. How do I, and some days still I just go, how am I even holding this shit together? Because it's like, oh, P.S. I'm not.
Yeah, okay.
And so I'm just so lucky that I had that guidance. Like, she was the greatest storyteller.
Yeah.
And I just had her in my life. She was someone who would go out of her way to find someone who just looked a bit lonely or a bit sad and go, hello, I'm Janice. Yeah. What's your name? And I used to go, oh, that's pretty cool. What a cool trick that is, Mum. Not a trick, it turns out.
Yeah.
So I grew up with someone like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I think we can all be that person, right?
Yeah. And I've watched you speak about your mum in previous interviews and stories, and it kind of made me realize, like, and you can maybe validate what I'm saying here, but you starting at 18 takes a good set of parents to do that.
Of course,
because there's no way a young man, I know the world's different to when both of us grew up to the 18-year-olds now, but you see these young kids, the ones who have the confidence to be able to be on camera or talk to strangers or go to a networking event with me, they've come from good stock.
I know,
they've come from great parents.
Yes.
And so, like, I've heard you speak about her and, like, your admiration of your mother, and like for you, that relationship, how do you, like, am I right there in saying that? Like, what was the importance of that? Was there much, who else was around in that early time who gave you that level of confidence?
Confidence, I don't know, just possibly they let me be me.
Yeah, okay.
So my brother Andrew and I, like Andrew, just the most beautiful man, like just like the best dad I know, just amazing man.
Yeah.
But Andrew sailed through school, just a genius, just so, one of the cleverest men I've ever met in my life.
Yeah.
And then there's me. And I struggled with school a little bit, but Mum and Dad, they didn't, I was never compared to Andrew. Andrew wasn't compared to me.
Yeah.
So they let us be us.
Yeah.
And henceforth we grew up, and Andrew and I write together, we create content together. It's just been the best thing ever. So I think we grew up with a whānau with a lot of love and support and acceptance. That is who we are. So I was allowed to sit in the back of the car and do impersonations and make funny voices, and Dad would laugh away, and occasionally, all right, mate, that'll do it. I mean, can you imagine those long trips in the car with this one? That's me. But I was allowed to be me. Yeah. So it's not like I was made to feel when school was too hard, and often it was. Yeah. I was made to feel like, well, come on, mate, because this is your only ticket.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, cool. So I was made to feel that, that there were other ways.
Yeah.
And Andrew would say the same as well. Andrew went through law school, just smashed it, became a lawyer, realised he actually didn't like it because it was actually sort of like, and I can't speak for Andrew, but I get the gist. It was like, pretty much, I feel like I could be, I don't know, just there was a lot of angry people, basically, I mean, I'm pretty sure that was in the job description, bro, but he did it, and he said to me, he's always been an amazing writer. So he said, I want to come and write with you. I was like, have you told Mum and Dad? Because I want to be there when you do. You might get a level of the disappointment that they had with me. No. And they did. And that's just, again, that was a totally accepted thing. It was never questioned. It was like, it's cool. Yeah. So I guess we are kids, Andrew and I, who grew up with parents who accepted us, celebrated us. I remember the only interview I ever did with my dad in the paper, Donald Gunn, you beautiful man. Oh. And we did an interview, and the person said to Dad, and I've got the clipping actually in my office, you must be very proud of your son, Jason. And Dad said, typical Don thing, he said, I'm very proud of both of my sons, Jason and Andrew. They've both done extraordinarily well. And I thought, what a beautiful, that's Dad to a T. I thought, I just need to clarify in this moment, a man of few words, that I'm just going to clarify, since you've given me this opportunity, to point out that both my sons have done very well. And I thought, how awesome's that?
It speaks volumes, doesn't
it does. I just love that. Yeah.
That's great. Okay, towards this part of the conversation, what is next? Like, you've got this this business that you've been working on, and to be fair, I've watched you mostly on LinkedIn these days. Yeah, and follows your journey there and what you've been doing and building this business. Is that how you see out the rest of your career, or what else is there?
I don't know. Well,
like what? Yeah,
a couple of things.
Yeah.
So I love where this has gone. It was a little accidental in terms of I was helping some people with speaking, and then they were like, "Hey, we'll pay you for that." And I thought, "Okay, that sounds pretty cool." And they were like really awesome people. So I thought, "Oh yeah." Then there was a couple of All Blacks and there was a couple of cricketers. I thought, "This is cool. Have you got any kit?" And I'm helping you speak, and this is great. But I actually could see the difference. I could actually help with these people. Yeah. Then some people in business. I thought, well, so let me get this straight. And one day I just sat down at the table and went, I'm just going to write down all the stuff that I think I do or I know about when it comes to speaking. Yeah. Like 27 pages later, it was like, I wonder if everybody knows this stuff. Like, is this common knowledge? Yeah. And then I just started asking people. I'm like, no. I went, okay, maybe there's a business here. Yeah. And I just set it up and set this business up. And it has evolved and changed. Because, and of course, so now people, what do you do? I go, well, how do I explain? So, yes, it's sometimes about helping individuals talk. Sometimes I do a lot of work internally with bigger businesses going, before we communicate to the world, how are we communicating with each other? Yep. So a lot of my work is a lot about culture building.
Oh, that's cool.
Let's look at the way we communicate with each other. Are we connecting with each other? Yeah. Screw the clients for a minute. Let's just talk about, are we connecting? Like, is everyone feeling valued? Are they feeling heard, right? Now let's shift our focus to our products and our services, and how do we get this out there? So I love all that. And then you'll just get someone who's doing a presentation or doing a post-match interview. So I do love it. The big thing I've learned probably in the last wee while is like, and I said this before to you just before the podcast, was that, you know what, it's great, and I can go and talk to 600 people in a room and we're like, yes, and we've laughed together and we've cried together, and then I just piss off. And that was it. Good night, everybody. You'll never see me again. I go, hang on a minute. I can't expect you to make dramatic changes in your communications. This isn't enough. It's like, I've started something. I've opened a can of something. So what I'm trying to do now is, I've worked out it's about 3 touch points, I think I heard someone say, where you need to see someone, see them again, and then you start to see this transition, right? So how do we do that? Because currently I turn up, I pack the suitcase, I fly somewhere, I go there, and it's great. It's a little tiring. Yeah. So now I've worked out I'm after longer commitment from people because I actually want to see transformation. Yeah. I don't just want to turn up on a day and go, and if you do that, you can do that. See you later, Tony Robbins. It's like, what? I actually understand that it needs to be at least 3 touch points. So I'm trying to grow a bit of an online course situation, which is a follow-up to what I'm doing. Cool. Because otherwise it's like, the one-hit wonder is not enough. So it's like, we started something, what could we do from here? And I think that's my goal. Yeah. To be perfectly honest, I buy into the Robin Hood approach. Okay. There's a couple of, I want to work with I've got some good big-sized clients, which I'm loving working with. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to name names because this will upset them, but I like to make some good money from them. Yeah. Because what I really want to do is spend most of my life actually doing stuff for people who just have no money or can't afford to. And to be honest, I'd really love those people. Yeah. Not that I don't love the big clients, but that would be my goal. If I can spend more time. I remember when just before Mum passed away, I'd go and visit Mum, and I'd go and visit so many older people, and I'd just tell them stories, and we'd laugh. Yeah. And I'd say to the staff, where's the family? And they were like, you tell me. I was like, shit. And I thought, what does success look like to me? Yes, I want to work with some big clients, doing some ongoing work, so that I can help them, and so that I can sit beside more people in beds and go, "How I got a story for you."
Yeah.
So I think I want to teach other people stories, and teach them how to tell stories. But then I'd really also like to spend a lot of my time just sharing stories with people who possibly could just do with a bit of a pick-me-up, which goes right back to those children's television days, right?
It's the same thing.
So that's kind of my
I like it.
Kind of my plan, you know? Yeah. And hey, so far so good.
Yeah. No, that's great. I love that you put the Robin Hood theory as a title for that, because I haven't really had a name for it. But a similar thing for me. So I grew up in Manadeo in South Auckland, and growing up as a kid out there, like, you didn't have the role models or the opportunities that a lot of people did. Or I shouldn't say that. A lot of people I met today who have been successful had. And so you can kind of see how they've got to where they are today because of the opportunities that they were given early on in life.
Yeah.
And so I'm the same. I have. And my clients kind of know I do the same thing. I charge the big clients a certain amount so that I have the time available.
Love it.
Free stuff.
Yes,
with
of
the
course.
Communities that
I
want to be part of.
And you've got to value what you do, because those big companies are going to be able to do better things because of the time they spent with you. Of course. And as long as, you think, am I still giving them the... Yes, no, I'm giving them the good stuff.
Exactly. Yeah, they're giving me time back. Like, I'm still giving them everything that they have paid me for. Yeah. But then now I've got some spare time.
Exactly.
I can not have to charge people. Like last week we were at the Cause Collective out south, which is for young creatives, young Pacifica creatives.
Great.
This great little creative hub. It's amazing the things that these guys do. And I went and did a talk with them and whatnot. And like, when they asked me, like, how much does this cost? And I was like, you're not going to pay me what I would charge these guys. I'd rather you not give you a discount, because I'll just be annoyed doing this because I'm getting discounted. So let me just come do it for free. And let me take the guys to film it so we can make some content out of it and maybe share that story with other people online. So I'm the same. And then to your point, something that we do, I don't know if this is helpful at all with your course, is that we also, small businesses now, we kind of priced ourselves out of them, and we can't help small businesses. The ones that are always going to be small, like a boutique toy store, or like a small cafe. They're never going to be able to be bigger than that. 3 employees, maybe 4 employees if they're lucky. But we love working with those clients because you're directly with the owner.
Exactly right.
They're passionate.
Got the heart.
In it, and they're, like, this business is their whole world. But you can't charge them what we can charge the mainstream brands and whatnot. So we created this thing where, obviously, we have all the content that we put out, but we called it the cohort, which is, it's like $50 a month. So we go do these big talks, we teach the people in a workshop, and those are usually some companies paid for or something's happened. Yeah. They get all inspired, and then they run off, try to do things on their own. Doesn't quite work out, they lose momentum. Yeah. And then so we're the same thing. We created this thing, it was $50 a month. We only made it a nominal amount so that there was some value to it.
Got to have that, yeah.
But really, all it was to do was so that they turned up every month. Well, there's twice a month they turn up to a group session. And it might not be that. It's not about making money. Like, we don't make... there's not even enough money being made there to pay the wages that are running it. Yeah. But what it does do, actually, what it did do for us, and maybe one day it will, but what it does do for us is all those people talk. And so then we land some of the bigger guys.
Exactly right. Yeah.
They're all talking about it. So it actually becomes like one of our lead funnels anyway, because we give them massive value. And then they go online and talk about us or talk to their friends and people.
What it also does, though, not that for a second, walk in this room, it feels good. But what it also does is it just keeps us grounded too. Yeah. Like, I'm not a big company person. I am very easily starstruck. I walk in places and go, oh my God. If I see anyone famous, like a sports, love my sports. If I see a sports person, I'm like, oh my God, starstruck. And I love it, but I never ever want that to be my normal. I always want to have that excitement, like, oh my God. Yes. I love that. Yeah. And so I don't want that to become my normal. Yeah. Same reason I don't want a private jet. Obviously I could have one. Is you think, oh my God, the day that becomes the normal, it's like, I've never been on one. I don't know. There are certain things you always want to be, this is just so out of my world, right? Yeah. And I always want them to be out of my world, because the day that becomes the norm, it's like, how sad is that? Yeah. But also, I just think just talking with real people and seeing the difference they can make, you can make with them, that's just beautiful. Yeah. And I always say I love going places like that because I go, here you are, my kind of people. Yeah. And it's just, you go, that's right. Yeah. You can see the difference you can make in one little thing. So I think it's good. It's good for the ego too.
Yeah,
I think let's just keep it. Let's just not get too big for our boots here, JC.
I love that. Hey, Jason, this has been awesome.
Thank you so much.
And I could talk to you all day. And like I said at the beginning, I do actually want to say thank you, because not just for me, but for all the kids. Like, honestly, it's huge. Like, Alicia, who came up to you as you walked in.
Yeah.
So she's one of my best mates. She's worked with me for 13 years now. And
fantastic. What does that say? That's good.
She's super excited. And, like, she's the same age as me. And so, I mean, you probably get this a lot. You obviously
don't belittle it.
No, but I don't want to... I'm not trying to belittle it, but the fact that, like, I think you're doing great work. I love watching you on LinkedIn. I think it's awesome to watch. Like, I think what you said about your career, you know, these parts of your career that's going. I love this part of your career because I feel like more of a peer than a fan.
Yes,
which is cool.
And do you know what? That's a really, I really appreciate that, because I mean, fan is a love. That's the most beautiful thing that someone would say. That I'm a fan of your Jason. That's so cool. You know what I learned very early on in this, when I started my business, I thought, wow. So it turns out, not all fans want to pay for stuff. Okay, wait a minute. If I had Thingy, would that be different? No. And I had to realize that. Okay, wait a minute. It's really cool to have a fan, but I'm now giving up radio because. Boy, oh boy, I was not enjoying that. Yeah. And so I got out of that and I found something I do love that brings me joy, that I come home and go, you will not believe I was getting none of that at the end. So it was just like, I'm in something now which is bringing me joy. Cool. If that can also then, financially bring us a little something as well, great. But it was a great thing for me to, because I had to re-earn my stripes.
Yeah.
Being Jason Gunn, awesome. Yeah. Doesn't mean anyone's going to pay $1 to see you or help you. So it's been good for me to have a little bit of what I would call empty calendar syndrome. Yeah. when the business started, to go, so there's all those people who grew up watching the Son of a Gun show now that have all the moolah. So it's great. I loved that as well. Let's just rebuild, Jace. Let's just start again. Let's prove what I know and how I can help. Yeah. So nervous at the start, but now it's been, that growth for me has been really, 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 really good. So,
nice.
No, thanks, man. I really appreciate it. We're always, you got to adjust with the times, don't you?
Exactly.
I mean, otherwise it's just all going to dry up.
Yeah, it all disappears. No, I think it's awesome. I think you've done a great job of rebranding yourself on LinkedIn, like, because you realistically could have not been taken seriously.
Oh my gosh,
easily.
Yeah.
But you managed to pull it off perfectly, I think.
Well, I think also, if I may, here's you trying to wrap this up, and Jason just keeps on going.
No, I love it.
But it's that idea, I think, also, I just think it's in this time of AI and everything, I believe I've picked a great time to have a communication company. Because I believe human contact and connection is everything now. AI can do everything. Not quite. If I walk into this room with a talk for 10 people and I look around the table and I go, wait a minute, something feels, I've written something, but it doesn't feel right. AI can't do this. No. And I look at someone and I go, wait a minute, okay. Read the room, Jace. AI can't read the room yet, you see. So the ability to read a room and be able to adapt and to say something, look at the feedback, adapt again, just by a feeling. That's the power of human connection, right? Yeah. So I think the ability to stand up now and not read something that AI has read for you, but heart's my big thing. Yeah. The ability to speak from the heart, and I have this formula I use, heart, and that is HEART. Speak from the heart, have empathy, be authentic, be reassuring, and tell stories. Cool. Do those 5 things. AI just can't. No. So I think I'm lucky that I've picked a time that I actually think being able to communicate with people on camera, on stage, online, is actually going to become a real superpower. Yep. Janine and I have this thing we say, sometimes you'll go somewhere and you'll pick up something, you go, oh, that's an expensive little something. Look, it says here, handmade. Oh, okay, handmade. Oh, I see, wasn't made by a machine. I reckon in 20 years' time, you pick up something, you go, oh, look at that, human-made. It's interesting, isn't it? Yeah. And I think, this is what I'm trying to teach people, is this is something that only humans can currently do. So connection, everything.
Yeah, I love that. Hey, thank you so much.
My man, thank you so much. Real pleasure. Yeah. Thank you. Great chat.
Yeah.
Great to catch up with you again, my friend. It's been a while. Stay in touch, please. Stay in touch. Happy trails to you.
I love it. Thank you, mate.
Thank you.
That was awesome.